I want to talk to you guys today about a really debatable situation, and I would love to hear some comments down below. But I want to give you guys like a starter kit, man, for bass fishing. That includes anybody who wants to fish from a boat, john boat, bass boat, doesn't matter. Could be a pontoon. You can still fish off that thing. Or you got a kayak. If you're just, like how most of us started straight off the bank, right? I mean, what should you start with? Whether it be baits, terminal tackle, what rod and reel? Do you start with spinning rod? Do you start with a bait caster? That's one of the biggest questions when you actually start getting into the, into the game of bass fishing. But right here, we're gonna cover the absolute basics, right? Everything I'm about to tell you, you can literally, this entire lineup, you can get under $200, okay? I'm stamping that, right? Although there's a ton of baits that you can line this thing up with, man, with bait casters, but this is not a starter kit to me. For me personally, I would actually choose a spinning setup. I actually feel like you can catch twice as many fish on a spinning setup, man, than a bait caster. Hey, that's just me, man. Big bass, small bass, it doesn't matter, man. You're gonna catch a ton of fish on a spinning setup in comparison to a bait cast. So I briefly touched on this, man, my last video. If you guys check it out, link down below. But this right here is one of my favorite setups. Some rods are more sensitive than others. Some are just kind of a dime a dozen. Doesn't really matter, okay? So if you're just getting started bass fishing, we're in the dime a dozen, doesn't really matter such scenario. So the rod right here, so if I got Dick's Sporting Goods, this is a 7'2" medium heavy power fast action rod. This is a Lews carbon fire. Just to be exact, I might have to flip that upside down for you guys. Let's go with $60 rod. This reel right here, check it out, Tackle Warehouse, man. I got it for about 40 something. I think it was like $47. This one right here is a 2500 series or 2500 size. The reel itself is made by Albert Garcia. Albert Garcia and a professional angler, Jordan Lee, have teamed up together and created this reel here. Then you can go to good old Wally World, Walmart, get you some 10 to 15 pound braid for yellow, green, something really bright so you can see in case your bait gets picked up and moved over somewhere. It's really easy to see, right? Then the line itself, you can get a leader line pack, which costs like a fraction of the cost of trying to buy an entire spool. Try to like 15 or 14 pound fluorocarbon line. 15 pound line may not be the absolute best for finesse, but you can still get the job done if you want to just get out there and go fish. It's not a problem. So that's the line setup. And if you guys want a video for the leader knot, I'll give you a link down below. My knot that I choose for braid to leader line is a Alberto knot, and the normal knot that I tie to my baits is a uni knot. Both super simple knots, man, very strong. I haven't had any issues with them. I've been fishing it for years. All right, so that's my basic rod and reel setup when it comes to my spinning rods, man. That's a tried and true. I've been using it for years, man. You cannot go wrong with that setup right there. All right, so now that we spent like $100 and I don't know, $30, $40 on just getting a rod set up, one thing you got left, besides your fishing license, okay, that should be like outside of what the numbers we're talking about here. Make sure you got your license and stay away from green jeans. So after you got all that, right, you got your rod and your reel, got your license, right, safety first and all that. All right, we're gonna hop right into terminal tackle. I got a few items I wanna show you guys that you guys must have with you in your tackle box, right? In the tackle box, you don't have to choose like some super huge 3,700 size tackle box. Don't even worry about that. You can have a lunchbox for all I care, okay? All right, there's so many different things you can have in a terminal tackle box, but I'm gonna give you guys about 3 different things that, like I said, must have things inside your tackle box, period. And again, we're trying to stay under this $200 price range, okay? So right now we got about, I don't know, $60 worth of terminal tackle and baits you can buy. About $60 worth of freedom left, okay? Because after that point, we're gonna go broke, period. And there's no two ways about it, okay? You get into bass fishing long enough, you'll be like, damn, I ain't not spent that much this year. All right, first thing you want to have in your terminal tackle box is a good old bullet weight. And that's a very small presentation. Because I couldn't show it, here's an example of a bullet weight. This is far more than what you probably need, but I wanted to make sure you guys see what it looks like. Because this right here is a 1/4 ounce. This little one right here is a 1/4 ounce bullet weight. That's about all you need. Go to Walmart, man, get you a little pack. I think it's like a pack of 5 or something like that. Couple bucks, man, it'll get you by, okay? That right there was like 1.5 ounces or some crap like that for like punching. We ain't there yet. Then you get like a 3/0 or 4/0, okay? This is called a EWG, which is extra wide gap hook. Brand could be VMC, Owner, Gamakatsu, but 3/0 or 4/0. I'm only saying that because it all depends on how you want to fish, honestly. My 3/0 size ones, I fit a lot of smaller baits. And the 4/0, I can go with, longer worms, if you guys like lizards or anything like that, perfect for it. And to top all that off, when you got a little bullet weight and a little hook, these are called bobber stoppers, okay? But you can attach this right above your weight And those three put together will give you something called a Texas rig. But the Texas rig will give you a lot of versatility, man, when it comes to a bait choice. Whether it be creature baits, lizards, worm, Texas rig will cover so many different bases on the soft plastic world till it's ridiculous, okay? But that's the first thing you want to have in your tackle box. Number two is a drop shot hook, okay? I want you guys to go ahead, if you can, you'll learn it. Like I said, do some research. I got videos on my channel as well, but a drop shot setup. You'll need a drop shot hook, as well as a little drop shot weight. Again, go with a 1/4 ounce, man. It's a good starting point, is a 1/4 ounce. Like I said, I'll cover so many different depths of water, shallow, deep. You can still get it done with a 1/4 ounce, okay? But that right there is a size number 2/0. And like I said, I have my last video covering drop shots is, like I said, linked below. You guys check that out for some more detail. But a drop shot. The guys all the way on the pro level still using drop shot, man. Do not forget about it, man. That thing catches fish year round. And the last thing I want you guys to get to have for your terminal tackle is a pack of jig heads, okay? Pack of jig heads. This one right here is about 6 cents. I don't know if 6 cents is at Walmart, but jig head, you can't go wrong with a little pack of jig heads. That right there, you can get some, again, I'll talk about baits in a second, but get a little paddle tail swim bait, man, go in the back of that. Or if you guys have done any research with bass fishing, jig head minnow. So if you get a minnow style bait that has a little flickery little tail in the back, you can catch a ton of fish even with this. And again, I would start with about 1/4 ounce. If you guys are in a pond, go with 1/8 ounce, okay? You can't go wrong. All right, on to the baits, man. There's only a few baits I want you guys to even worry about, man. Let's cover a couple soft plastics. Let me give you like 3 soft plastics real quick. Number one for sure is this one's right here by Zoom. It's actually a speed worm, but any kind of worm style bait. Like if you had a 5-inch worm that doesn't have that little curly tail thing or whatever, but both of those are fine. A regular worm without a little curly tail, or this right here, like I said, a speed worm. You hook that up on a Texas rig and you can go to town, all right? Number one is a worm style bait. Okay, you don't have to have crazy colors or anything like that, man. Stick with like a green pumpkin or like a bluegill style color, or black and blue for your muddy water guys. And if you got clean water, like I said, stick with the green pumpkin or a nice watermelon red or something like that. Those still go hand. All right, so after you got a little, a couple packs of worms, right? Next I want you to do is get like a creature bait. A creature or like a lizard style bait, either one. This one right here is the Strike King Rage Tail or Rage Bug. The color's called Chameleon if anyone wants to know. But just a creature style bait. There's a ton of them out there, man. Like I said, you get a couple packs. So that's number two. That's a couple soft plastics right there. Next I want you guys to get a little paddle tail swim bait, somewhere in that 3.8 to like 4-inch range. Okay, again, that goes perfectly with the jig head. But that right there, what you'll be running with, man. Absolute killer bait out there. Pack or 2. Keep it simple, man. Bluegill color or like a shad color if you guys are on lakes that have shad. That right there is perfect. All right, that's it for my plastic bags. Again, we're keeping this thing under $200. We're gonna go to my last couple baits here, and you can get you guys out on the water, man. All right, so this right here is a square bill crankbait. This right here is a little bluegill pattern. Again, I recommend bluegill patterns or like shad patterns, or get you guys some with like a red pattern, like a crawfish pattern. This right here is by Strike King as well. Get that right at Walmart, man. It has a little flatter side. With those flat sides, that bait will have a lot tighter wobble, more of a shape like this one here, a little wider stance to her. That one in particular will have a wider wobble with that wider body. So a square bill crankbait, right? Last on my list, and actually one of my favorite baits to throw, period. Again, got me hooked on bass fishing. That's good old bladed jig, man. And as you guys can see, one of them has like a paddle tail. Again, if you guys are throwing that little swim bait, you can throw a regular swim bait on the back of your chatterbaits or bladed jigs. Okay, there's a bunch of different companies out there. Or if you have like a creature bait. Now this one in particular, again, allows the appendages to do a bunch of action back there. Again, as this blade is doing a bunch of vibrating in the water, it's going to be kicking the back of those appendages. Like I said, if you had a little creature bait, something like that, a pack of creature bait, you could throw it in the back of that and it'll make a ton of movement. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys one bonus bait, but unfortunately you won't be able to get it done on that spinning setup. I got a video down below, man, for my favorite rod and reel setup for the frog, okay? Look, as soon as you guys start seeing this weather change, man, a lot more greenery starts getting, growing in the area. Fish start busting up on surface. Get one setup, man, that'll handle that hollow body frog. And you'll never turn back to any bait. You'll just fish a fraud the rest of the year. Nah, it's really a fun bite, man. It's one of my favorite bites, period. But appreciate you guys tuning in, man. That's it for me. If you guys got any questions, leave me down in the comment section below. See you guys on next Tackle Tuesday. Appreciate you joining in on Tackle Tuesday, episode 5. We out.